Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Colleen Pearl, the Cool Crone, and welcome to the astrological bonus video for December. Today I will be talking about the major astrological events that are happening in December 2020. There are actually so many astrological events happening in December, but I'm going to focus on the big ones. At the end of the video, I will go through each sign and tell you how the full moon and the Great Conjunction will affect you. So now sit back and relax and enjoy this bonus astrological video all about December 2020. On December 14th, we will experience the seventh eclipse of a 12-month period. I'm including the eclipse on Christmas Day 2019 in this grouping. This has been an incredible period astrologically, not only for all the eclipse, but also because of several other amazing astrological events that have happened and will not happen again probably in our lifetimes. A Saturn-Pluto conjunction, 3 Jupiter-Pluto conjunctions, and of course the Great Conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, which will happen on December 21st, 2020 in Aquarius on the winter solstice, plus a beautiful full moon in Cancer on almost the last day of the year. On November 30th and December 14th, we will experience the last pair of eclipses for the year, a lunar eclipse at 8 degrees of Gemini and a solar eclipse at 23 degrees 8 minutes of Sagittarius. But what are eclipses? How do we identify eclipses, and why are they so important? When a full or new moon falls within 9 degrees of the transiting lunar node, we have an eclipse, which will cause either the sun or the moon to be eclipsed by the other from our perspective here on Earth. The nodes are points in the sky, the positions of which are determined by the orbital path of the moon crossing the ecliptic. The ecliptic is the orbit of the Earth around the sun. So as the moon's path crosses the ecliptic moving downward, we have the south node of the moon. And as it makes its corresponding movement upward, we have the north node of the moon. The involvement of the nodes are what make eclipses so important. In your natal chart, your nodes are the areas of life where you either draw or lose energy, where you want to seek experience and knowledge, or where you have innate talents. Now, the nodes travel in reverse zodiac order or retrograde, as opposed to all the other planets and luminaries which travel in order of the zodiac. The ancients said that an eclipse would herald the birth or death of a king or queen. Now, in today's world, we have very few kings or queens, but we do have many, many world leaders and celebrities and people of note to the point that we almost worship them. Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley, John F. Kennedy, Princess Diana, Martin Luther King, just to name a few. But eclipses are really misunderstood because very often they come and go and no one notices a world event or the birth or the death of a king. That is because the eclipse point, or the degree and zodiac sign where the eclipse takes place, was not sensitive to your chart. It didn't trigger anything. Eclipses very often foreshadow things for a country or the heads of state. Very often they don't do anything for a person unless you have that sensitive point in your chart at the ascendant, the descendant, the midheaven, or the IC. The eclipse that occurred on November 30th and the upcoming eclipse on December 14th are in Gemini and Sagittarius, respectively. So those of you who are born under the mutable signs or who have the mutable signs rising or as your moon are going to be sensitive to these eclipses. The mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So if you have an ascendant, descendant, midheaven, or IC in a mutable sign, this will make you sensitive to the eclipse. Also, if your ascendant, descendant, midheaven, or IC happens to be within 5 to 11 degrees or 20 to 26 degrees, you will be especially sensitive to this eclipse. Then later on, when other planets travel over that eclipse point, you may also feel it, or that may be the time where the real event occurs. And those planets that could trigger this are Mars, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, or Pluto. The year 2020 has given us blow after blow, but it has also given us plenty of time to go within, to reflect, to take care of ourselves and others like never before, and to reach into our souls to find out who we truly are and what really matters to us. But these are not the only celestial events that will take place in December. The Great Conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn will take place on December 21st, 2020, on winter solstice. The Great Conjunction at 0 degrees Aquarius heralds the true entry into the age of Aquarius. These two giant planets alternate between conjunctions and oppositions that begin each decade. And for the next 160 years, they will meet or oppose each other only in the air signs. This is a sea change for humanity. Aquarius is the sign of the humanitarian, the visionary. Jupiter in Aquarius shows us the promise of social equality, big social reforms, breakdown of the old guard, and sweeping changes to society. Saturn in Aquarius gives us the discipline and structure to make those changes and reforms stick and last a long time. Now, 2020 was the subject of the last energy of Jupiter and Saturn in the sign of Capricorn, which made for a very severe year, one in which we were all forced to push ourselves to see what really mattered and who really mattered in our lives. Political upheaval came to a head. Social unrest came to a head. Healthcare and concerns about a pandemic were forefront in our news for the better part of the whole year. Now, with Jupiter and Saturn in an air sign, energy will be moving faster. Socioeconomic influences will be affected because things will speed up. On December 21st, it will not be like somebody flipped a switch and all of society changes, but you will definitely feel an energy shift. And every minute after that great conjunction, you will feel the resistance to the much needed change that we need fall away. Not all at once, and there will be those that hang on to the bitter end, but we will all get to the future together. This conjunction will affect all of us tremendously as a group on our planet and individually. Now, Saturn and Jupiter affect who will control and rule us, and they will do so for about the next 200 years. Now, for the previous 200 years, when these planets were in the Earth signs, the powers that be were making decisions for us, controlling our economy, our money, resources, health, and our bodies. These controls are slowly weakening, and with Jupiter and Saturn beginning their dance through the air signs, rulership and control will shift to more esoteric things. Science, truth, equality, the self, autonomy, the greater group, and independence will become much more important, and thus our leaders will change as society turns away from the old guard who were so tied to the earth sign resources. The capitalistic, materialistic paradigms of the past will give way to much more simplicity in regards to material goods, and this will allow us to focus on air areas of life: intellectualism, social interaction, true communication, freedom of expression, and moving toward health paradigms that don't involve getting sick in order to die. Now, the final full moon of the year falls on December 29th in the sign of Cancer. The first full moon of the year also occurred in Cancer on January 10th during a lunar eclipse. This lovely full moon puts the accent on women and feminine power. The moon is in the sign of Cancer, and it rules all women. It is so fitting and beautiful that the universe that gave us such a severe year in 2020 embraces us in January and December with two beautiful Cancer moons to make us feel loved and blessed in spite of our misfortune. These two moons shine brightly and light up all things Cancerian concerning women and feminine power. Right now, all the planets are moving forward, except Uranus, the great disruptor. So fitting that Uranus, being the ruler of Aquarius, where our great conjunction is taking place, and also fitting that Uranus should be retrograde when all the other planets line up to help us make the changes in 2021 that are so desperately needed. It's possible that on December 31st, when Saturn and Jupiter will be opposite the Leo moon and squaring Uranus, that a courageous and brave leader may step forward and show us the way. Given all the feminine power being emphasized by the heavens, that leader may very well be female. This particular full moon will turn our thoughts to home, family, children, and mothers as we respond to our emotions and express our sympathy and understanding towards others. This is a great time to cook and nurture our loved ones. Emotions will be high during a Cancer moon, so watch out for becoming overly sensitive, dependent, or needy. Put your time in around the house, tend to domestic chores, and Zoom with your loved ones. As with all major full moons, conjunctions, and other celestial events of 2020, we must ask ourselves, yet again, what can I let go of? What can I release so that I can walk into my future unimpeded by emotional and cultural baggage? So many of us want to be free of this old baggage. And for years, so many of us have been working to raise our vibrations. Now, with this change into the air signs for Saturn and Jupiter, it will be a lot easier. The eclipse on December 14th will take place at 11:16 a.m. in Sagittarius. Now, these short predictions will make the most sense in regards to your rising sign, but you can certainly also pay attention to your sun sign or your moon sign, as there will be some correspondences there as well. So Aries. For Aries, the Great Conjunction will have you confronting your inhibitions and self-restrictions within social groups and through your goals. The full moon on the 29th will have you focusing on your home and family and the past, your feelings of security or insecurity about your home life. It will spur you to enjoy your family, to nurture those you love, and it'll give you a good reason to stay home. Taurus. So Taurus, the Great Conjunction on the 21st will resonate in your 10th house of career. So it will probably give your thoughts towards changes to your career with a focus on stability, a recognition of your past deeds and change to your status. Saturn will steady you while Jupiter gives you confidence. So it's a good time to focus on your career, either changing it or boosting it. The full moon occurs in your third house, and this will make you focus on siblings, neighbors, communications, early learning, and education. It'll also have you focusing on nurturing, gathering, and focusing on the security and insecurity within your own neighborhood, within your small cosmos, your daily cosmos. Now, Gemini. For Gemini, the Great Conjunction in Aquarius will have you exploring your spirituality, your religion, and possibly thinking about foreign countries or cultures, maybe publishing a new book, or thinking about publishing in general. This possibly relates to a longer term piece of work or project for you So it may not be something that just occurs on the 21st of December, and you may already be feeling it in regards to this area of life. For the full moon on the 29th, you'll be focusing on your own resources, your talents, your money, your skills, and keeping track of those. You may have insecurities to overcome when it comes to your resources and talents. Be realistic and don't overreact. Remember, it's a Cancer moon and you can be very emotional. Cancer. The great conjunction for you occurs in your 8th house, and this is your house for shared finances, and so this will be a focus for your concern. If you're involved with magic or metaphysics, now is a good time to expand your studies. Also, it's a good time to look at shared resources such as mortgages or large investments or loans. For the full moon, this puts the full moon in your 1st house, Cancer. So, feelings about your own femininity and your own sense of self, your physical self, and the self that you project to the world, your image, are all going to be emphasized. If you're a mother or a child, this relationship will be emphasized. The love of yourself, your own security or insecurity, will be on high alert. Try not to be overly sensitive, Cancer. I know that's probably impossible to ask for, but try. Leo, this great conjunction hits you in your 7th house for partners, so there may be changes coming for your relationships or business partnerships, and expansion and stability for both of those. The full moon of Cancer will hit you in your 12th house, so deep dreaming, prophetic dreams. You'll delve into your subconscious and listen to your inner voice, and your intuition is on high alert. Virgo. The great conjunction hits you, Virgo, in your 6th house. This is co-workers and job relationships, which can expand now, becoming much more important to you. New projects are offered with potential of becoming permanent positions. The full moon in Cancer hits your 11th house. The relationships with friends and groups will grow closer and become more like family for you. You nurture and depend on them. So be careful not to allow your neediness to show. Libra. The great conjunction hits you on your 5th house. This is for serious relationships or changes to relationships, expansion, and luck with longevity when it comes to relationships, children's, and games of chance. So there will be a focus on these things, especially children if you have children, or love affairs, or just things that are fun like sports. The full moon hits you in your 10th house. Now, a full moon in Cancer in the 10th house, it's only there for a couple of days, but it's powerful for you, Libra. Public acclaim, being able to shine in the public arena, caring for the public and producing good and charitable works. So if you've got something on the back burner that you want to put out into the world, December 29th is the day to do it. Scorpio. The great conjunction hits your 4th house. This is expansion of one's home, perhaps purchasing a new one or making changes like renovations to your current home. Also creating a new structure with your family in mind. So you may be looking at investments or investment properties, or new instruments like trusts for your kids or investments for the future. So those kinds of things are going to come up for you, Scorpio, during and probably before the 21st. You've probably already been thinking of it. The full moon hits your 9th house. So you have loving thoughts of new worlds, foreign cultures, new religions, spirituality, and a need to nurture all of these things. Also, your dreams may be prophetic during this time. Sagittarius. The great conjunction hits your 3rd house. This means that your ideas, your communications, writing, siblings, neighbors, all will become expanded and become much more mature. Your dealings with siblings and neighbors will be emphasized, and those relationships will evolve. The full moon hits your 8th house. So you have a very emotional response to shared resources with others, or your dreams, meditations, and any kind of clair gifts like clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience um, will become heightened. Using those gifts will become important to you. If you study magic, this is an excellent time to manifest your heart's desire. Capricorn. The Great Conjunction hits your second house. Massive changes where it comes to your finances. And all the Capricorns I know will say, woohoo, to that. So you may discover or begin a new approach when it comes to managing your own talents and resources. And this will last for a long time. So good for you. Now the full moon will hit your seventh house. So relationships are focused during this time. And as you open your heart to others, caring and nurturing your dear ones, insecurities about your relationship may crop up, but try and be confident and focus on the positive. Aquarius. The Great Conjunction hits you in your first house. And I'm sure you have been dealing with a lot of these energies for a long time. But right now, your image and your countenance are undergoing tremendous change. Physical changes and the way you present yourself to the world are all changing. So you're literally changing your visage and your image to the world. The sixth house is where the full moon will hit you. And this has to do with dealing with coworkers or a health issue that may make you feel insecure. Keep your cool, use love and positivity. Do not allow your insecurities to cause you to act out. Try to just be cool, play it cool, and you'll be good. And finally, Pisces. The Great Conjunction will hit your 12th house, Pisces. Your subconscious and dreams are preparing you for big changes. Be open to what your dreams are telling you. There are huge lessons here for you, but be patient, keep notes, try to understand, and someday you will. Now, the full moon on the 29th hits your fifth house. So, happy, goofy fun with children is the order of the day. Love and pleasure will keep you occupied. Do not deny yourself and enjoy those around you. So that's all of the readings for all the signs and how they will be affected by the Great Conjunction starting in Aquarius at 0 degrees and the full moon in Pisces happening on the 29th of December just before New Year's. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you coming and viewing my videos. Please be sure to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Be sure to like us, give us the thumbs up, and leave us a comment below so that I know what kind of readings you'd like to see in the future, astrological and tarot readings. I'm also available for personal readings if you would like, and on the screen right now, I'm sure that you're seeing my email address as well as my website. So have a great conjunction, enjoy the eclipses, enjoy that beautiful full moon at the end of the year, and I will see you all next time.